Okie dokie, Smokey. Maybe one of these days we'll find a proper intro to every episode. But for now, you get to deal with the randos. Yeah, that's his fault.
What's up, y'all?
What up, though? So
drinking healthy stuff.
He's drinking healthy stuff. I make healthy smoothies or juices. Right now we're having, what's in there? Spinach, avocado, some peach to, sweeten up a little bit. But yeah, anywho, besides the point of this episode, if you've been following, if you should know that we are doing LIB inspired questions you should ask before you get really attached to somebody and consider marriage and all of that good stuff. And we're doing the wealth category. So this week we'll talk a little bit. We'll start with this question. Are you able to live on one income, right? Ideally, everybody want a 2-income household. Ideally, you should get that 2-income household.
Now, let me say something, okay? Let me say something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, old man.
Everybody don't grow up on 2-income house. Some people ain't never seen that 4-day in their life.
Wow.
Okay?
Why he talking like that?
That's all I'm saying.
But that is very true. That is very true. What you see growing up does inspire what you aspire to be and to have and to have next to you and so forth.
It can determine your elevation, unfortunately.
Yes.
Or fortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So, the question of can you, and we touched on it a little bit last episode as well, of can you is if it comes down to it, right? If it's needed for betterment or whatever, or to go through some type of episodes or some type of moment in your marriage or relationship or what have you, can you go through it? So that's worth asking about. The other thing we'll say definitely ask about is who's better with money?
That is an important question.
That is a very important question. You may be in a setting where both people are good with money. If you are, great. Bring your resources together and manage money together, and learn how to do it better again if you want to improve your skills and knowledge and so forth.
Or one person just might like numbers and money more
Yeah,
than the other.
even though you're both good at it. That's true. The other aspect is, of course, one could be good and one could be bad. And, of course, we could have a situation where both of y'all don't know how to manage money and handle money right. And so, in that case, it's really important to ask this question because, and really get in the bottom of what you mean by being good with money. Because, again, one person's being good with money could be, oh, hey, when I get $100, I spend $100. I'm good with money, Whereas the other person's definition is being good money is, okay, when I get $100, I spend $10 and invest $20 and put however much in my savings and put this much towards trips or whatever and, 401k, whatever the case is, right? So one person's definition of being good with money is not necessarily, so you really got to get into what do you mean, like, okay, what do you have X, Y, and Z? Get into it a little bit. Don't just say, are you good with money? Yes. No. Nah, dog, that's not enough.
I think a good question, especially if you're getting to the stage where you guys are considering marriage or a serious relationship, is how's your family with money? You know what I mean? Because even if you guys never grew up and talked about it, you've seen money, you've had conversations around money.
And you've seen its effects.
You've seen its effects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some people, they come from, blue collar. Hey, we worked. That's all we did. We worked. We didn't talk about investments. We didn't talk about assets. Some people come from, white collar. Hey, we talk about assets and investments and all this other stuff that makes money for us. Those type of things play a role even into, as she said, as you get older. You know what I'm saying? If you got $100, what you gonna do with it? You know what I mean? Like, and even some of the experiences you had growing up, you know what I'm saying, with money and sometimes they play a role on your subconscious and how you feel about, what I should do with this money. So all of that things are important and just important questions to ask.
Yes, that's totally fact. The next question worth considering is travel for work, right? Like, do you travel for work? So we are in a day and age where somebody traveling for work is way more common, just like somebody working from home. But those two aspects have two different benefits and downsides to them. So if you travel for work and you are finding yourself, or you are getting yourself mixed up with somebody else and getting a relationship and so forth. Hello. Again, we're on a walk. That tends to be our routine lately, is we walk and we record. Why not, right? Why sit down when you can walk? But anywho, if you travel for work and you are looking for and finding somebody to be in a relationship and such, they're either going to have to get used to, not seeing you around as often as they imagine, seeing a significant other around, or getting used to traveling a little bit more to see you, or if they haven't traveled before. So all of those aspects, because I know for a lot of people, it could be just, the plus side of traveling can be overemphasized, wherein the challenges can be left behind. And we are speaking at two people who love traveling and are currently traveling for work. But that's us. That's something we both, agree on and over the time have come to love. So it's really worth talking about.
I think it's important just to add to that question is, if you're close to family, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you want to stay close to family? Do you not want to stay close to family? Mm-hmm. If you're close to friends, do you want to stay close to friends? Do you not want to stay? How attached are you to where you are?
That is very true.
Sometimes you can build an attachment and say, I've been here, 5 years. I won't even go 10, 20 or whatever, because I'm like, people rarely do that anymore. But it's important to factor all those things in, because the travel position may be the position of a lifetime, but if you're doing this with somebody and they may not be the most travel-y person, I mean, again, I don't know why you wouldn't. This is why we're doing this, because some people forget to ask these questions in the beginning. Hey, do you like to travel? Do you like to see new things?
And to what extent?
And to what extent? Because some people, and this is just, our brief knowledge, some travel positions are short. Some people, you just need that, hey, let me get 3 months away from wherever I've, been at for the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Some are longer, some have extensions, some, just say, hey, I really like this place. I never thought I would. I don't think I'm going back. Some are international.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's the question you got to ask yourself as well. How comfortable are we, I guess we can go down there and get to the lake or whatever.
Yeah.
But, sorry guys, we are on a walk, like you said. But how comfortable are we moving and transitioning our life like that? So yeah, those are just things I would add in addition to what we're already considering with travel positions.
Yeah. So the other thing that, and we might end here, but the other thing is, what are your requirements for a partner, right? So far, a lot of the things we talked. Yeah, in wealth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, ain't that another section?
Yeah. For wealth. So far, we've talked a lot about discussing where you're coming from, what the other person, but there's one thing about knowing what you want, what you don't want, and the other thing is what you want from somebody else, right? Do you expect your partner, or rather require your partner to, and that goes for either gender, but speaking from more, so it's more common to see this from a woman's perspective. You expect and require your men to provide everything, financially speaking. Once you guys get married, you expect that, okay, he'll provide everything and you chill. Oh, that's my alarm telling me to do squats and push-ups. But anywho, so if that's the case, then communicate that. Let that not be something you're you're ashamed of or afraid of or hide. Just communicate that and make sure the other person is okay with that. Otherwise, you just send yourself up for failure.
And what I'll say to that too, for the brother side, if you aren't there yet, right, and you got aspirations to get there, let her know that in the best possible way that you can. Now, can't make guarantees. We all understand that.
Yeah.
But let her, be like, hey, this is my plan to get us here.
And that may be enough, it may not, depending on who you're dealing with. But the whole point of this, and you will see this in a recurring theme and a recurring bottom line, is communicating. Let it known. Don't hold it to it. Don't assume anything. Let it known. It's better you say and they're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Then you don't say it, expect it's already known, and find out down the line like, that was not our expectation.
Not the expectation.
So yeah, what is your requirement for the other person wealth-wise? Some people, and like we've heard of and talked to people, and we know people who, even though they've been married for 10 years, they still split the rent or mortgage halfway. If that's your case, then do it. Some people have joint bank account the second they say I do, even before actually. Some people never join their account, and yet they know what the other person have. Some people have, like, you just have access to each other's account, but you don't bother to actually create joint accounts.
Some people take time to put money in there.
Stop it.
Just putting it out there, man.
But it is very, those are all things, like some who are okay with joining account and others who are not. Some of these folks would never expect the opposite to happen, right? For people who join account, they may be like, well, if you don't want to join account, then why are we even doing this for? Is this serious enough? Yada yada yada. People pull so much weight behind little things sometimes that it may be based on what they grew seeing, what their parents were doing, what their expectations were from, who knows, society, movies, whatever. So you really gotta get at the bottom of it and discuss your expectations, your requirement from the other person, and what you really envision your finances being like. Because if you don't talk about what you envision them being like, you can't really get there, and the other person really cannot work with you. Anything else to add to that, my love?
No. I think that's important.
Okay, all right.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. We'll wrap it up here, and we'll see y'all next time, and we'll continue the wealth aspect of our LIB series. Peace out, y'all. Go find a hike and hike it.